How does an organization or a KM practitioner, derive participation in a nutshell?
See, participation outside the intranet and within the intranet are two totally different aspects.
Okay.
Right. So I'm looking here at within the intranet area. What we're saying there is that there is participation will not happen till people see value.
Okay.
And value will not come till participation happens.
Okay.
Right. So it's cyclical.
Okay.
And the role that knowledge managers have to play to an extent is to figure out how to sort of get out of this circle.
Is it?
Okay. Right? Which means that either it has to be viral, where you sort of just sell it to a set of people, let them be your champions, and then through word of mouth publicity it builds up.
Okay.
Right? Or it sort of becomes a top-down thing where you see senior managers, themselves using these tools. So, I mean, management blogs, large account wikis, for instance, stuff like that. Those kind of things are something which, if you see your CEO blogging, for instance, one is, yes, that gives the CEO a platform to communicate with the organization, and for the organization to feed back into the thoughts of the CEO. But in addition to that, it's also giving a signal that, look, blogging is something which is acceptable in the organization.
Okay.
Okay. It's not just creative writing.
Right.
It's not just
a content dump.
Yeah, it's not a content dump. It's not something you're doing to escape from work. It's not something which is outside of the mainstream. It's part of the mainstream of the organization. So there are these two possible approaches that you could look at. Now, which approach you actually go for in a particular scenario is probably dependent on what really the scenario is.
Okay.
Obviously, there's no fixed rule which can be set for all organizations, but for certain organizations the top-down approach might work better. For certain, it might be the bottom-up approach. For some, it might be a mix of the two. But I would feel probably a mix of the two is really a more sellable idea.
So I don't really that's what my experience has been. There isn't too much of bottom-up approach.
Yeah, because the bottom-up approach takes a lot of time.
Okay.
You're talking about word of mouth.
Right.
Now, the larger the organization, the more the time it's going to take.
Right.
And that is something which a lot of organizations don't really factor into what they want to do with social computing.
And that's not just about sticking those fancy placards and sending those reminder emails and.
Correct. It's much more than it's like Dave said. Knowledge can never be conscripted. It can only be volunteer.
Knowledge can never be conscripted.
Yeah. So it's a question of getting people to actually write. Right? Now, not everybody's going to write, obviously. Some people don't like to write. Some people feel that what's the point of writing? Nobody's going to read what I'm writing. Right? So there's so many things which do happen, which means that we also need to understand that there's going to be a small minority which is going to write.
True.
Right? But there's going to be the idea is probably to get a large majority to read.
Okay.
To read, comment, and have conversations.
Okay.